From the locker room, they're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchdown.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. F-led red option is selected. Cross button.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And that'll be
entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have F-led red option.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game.
R1 button.
15. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Ravens power is selected. Slant stick. Cross button. Circle button. Circle button. R1 button. R1 button. Cross button.
And that nearly an interception here.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Ravens curl is selected.
On that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting
corner strike.
They are pinning their
Player
ears back.
formation. There are 9 categories. Option is set. Empty base flex. There are 17 categories. You have 9 options. Verticals is selected.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Square button. Circle button. Triangle button. R1 button.
Now Jones.
Cross button. Square button.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And
entering play call, empty base flex. There are 17 categories. You have 9 options. Middle high low is selected.
Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
Strong curl.
Better around
Y shallow.
you are,
Middle high low.
confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
R1 button. Square button. Cross button. Cross button.
Operating
Square button. Square button. Square button. Square button.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Entering play call, empty base. Level switch.
And give him
From
credit under center.
inside, AHD dive.
Pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey, check flag 33. Check flag 33.
Square button. Cross button.
A handoff to Barkley. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Strong curl is selected.
Scrimmage amidst traffic, but in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down.
Cross button. Square button. Cross button.
From the gun.
Square button.
Jones. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they'll
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
But it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is caught inside the 5.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
For more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes...
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 quick slants.
Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
Cross button.
College
Triangle button. Square button.
Every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. 0-1 trap is selected.
Negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game
Cross button. R1 button. Cross button. Square button.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more man.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Slot outs is selected.
Situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even
Cross button.
in situations,
Cross button.
still run the football.
Square button. Triangle button.
Good spot on
Square button. R1 button. Circle button. Square button.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Wing HD dive is selected.
This guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game.
Check flag 33. You can't block me. You can't block me.
A first down carry for Barkley. 7 yards on the pickup.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Empty end zone weak is selected.
Last week, they couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check back 33. Check back 33. Check back. Check back.
Circle button. Cross button. Circle button.
Blitz
R1 button.
throw.
Cross button.
One incomplete.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Why shall double post?
He's got to play down.
Floored cross. White rail. Floored cross. White rail.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
0-0. 9-3. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist. Twist.
Cross button. Triangle button. Triangle button.
Gun.
Cross button.
Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he will have a jump.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Red option is selected.
Ball, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Y corner. Triangle button. R1 button.
Get the play
Triangle button.
to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Entering play. Reggie Scissors.
And that'll bring up 2nd.
HB gut.
And no one happier to see that than the Giants fans themselves. Saquon Barkley was used a lot his rookie year, 91 catches, which was a record for NFL rookies. That
Cross button.
52 and
Cross button.
2018.
Triangle button.
And week
Cross
2
button. Triangle button. Triangle button.
He'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HB mid-draw is selected. Clear out south. 4 vertical. Double slants.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive.
Cross button. R1 button. Cross button. Cross button. Triangle button. Cross button. R1 button.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 6.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will bring it back. It's
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 15 options. That attempt is selected.
Advantage of him, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Gano the extra point.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Stafford here, coming off his pick 6. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got his target, Harris.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
7 yards there, a first down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And a dangerous throw there as that's
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Stafford. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And they're going to have another first.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Cover 4 pawns.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And he's taken down, but not before.
Entering play call, on plan. There are 7 formation.
Yards, the final tally.
Fort, option, normal. There are 2 categories. You have 9 options. Cover 3 is selected.
90 reception mark each of the last 2 years. One of the best route runners, one of the most precise route runners in the NFL. He's really going to help his new quarterback, Matthew Stafford.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9.
Entering play call, zone blitz.
Pick up there, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He pushes forward.
Entering play call, normal. There are 2 categories. You have 9 options. Cover 2 invert is selected.
Continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Fire zone free.
Hit a lot that way, too.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Matthew Stafford. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have taken the lead.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
For the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense? Someone who will dance with him and go where he goes.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. A flood red option is selected.
Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions.
Cross button, square button, square button, circle button.
Be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones They find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Inside zone split is selected.
Yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Cross button. Circle button. Triangle button.
Looking to throw.
Square button.
Jones. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. 0-1 trap is selected.
Involved enough in the offense, so maybe that can get him going.
You and I both know that there's not a wide receiver alive that ever feels like in any game he got enough touches, even if he got 15, right? We all know that. But there's also not an offensive coordinator alive, a play caller, that isn't smart enough to
Triangle button. R1 button.
that will keep
Triangle button.
Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. Yeah, they string that play out nicely. He stopped him.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HD slam is selected.
But bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Cross button. Circle button. Cross button. Circle button. Triangle button. R1 button. Triangle button. Circle button.
He's in trouble here, and down he goes. Sebastian.
Entering play call. Player.
Working through to get on the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Option. Empty base flex. There are 17 categories. You have 9 options. Verticals is selected.
Third and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Triangle button. Triangle button. Circle button. R1 button.
Jones.
Square button.
On third
Cross
and
button.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is selected.
And bringing up fourth down.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories. Cover 3 bus press.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
The Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding because that one was well over everyone's head.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. We'll call that a punt of 50.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. AHD slip screen.
Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They punted last
Cross
time.
Button.
What steps
R1 button.
do you think they have to take to make sure they don't?
R1 button.
Well, let's just
Triangle button. Cross button.
Expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. And make
R1
it
button.
3,
Square button. R1 button.
First
Cross button.
Keep moving.
R1 button.
You don't want to get behind the sticks.
Square button. Out left.
Defense has the advantage.
R1 button. Square button.
Now Jones
R1 button.
throwing
Triangle button. Cross button. R1 button.
Goes a deep ball, end zone.
Cross button.
That is caught. Touchdown. Oh, there is a marker.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Keep curls is selected.
So the illegal forward.
R1 button.
So cost them
Cross
a
button.
down. Now it's
Cross
second.
button. Cross button.
Back to throw.
R1 button.
Jones.
R1 button.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense.
Entering
just
white rail.
honest, they
Fake
forced
slash.
one to go
White
around.
rail. AHD slip screen.
Back in pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back.
Square button.
Sync.
R1 button.
Play good defense.
Square button. Out left. Triangle button. Triangle button.
Throwing
Triangle button. R1 button.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
There it is.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is selected.
The strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. On the return, Jackson. And he'll be out right at the 35.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Turn. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time.
Cover 1
remaining
LB
until the
blitz
half.
press.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll be out of bounds, but
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Just talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give them 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
the final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage.
Entering monthly adjustments free.
And it's
Throw it
second
short.
down.
Both teams
Throw it
making their
medium.
final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your
Defend
way,
medium
we go back
pass.
to MetLife Stadium.
Entering play call.
All right,
Special
Coach,
teams.
thanks.
You
Yeah,
have
both
6
teams likely
options.
to make some
Kickoff left is
changes.
selected.
A closely fought battle to this point. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half They didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the
Cover 3 sky.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going right back to Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Flushed out right.
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
You call hidden yardage.
On plan, formation, there are 7 categories. There are 8 subcategories. Option is set to normal. 39 plays. You have 11 options. Nickel is selected. On plan, there are 7 categories. Defend medium pass is selected. Coach suggests cover 3. Cover 4 quarters.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Stafford. Going up top for Kupp. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, L.A.
I don't think...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Extra point right down the middle.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this...
Entering play call, coach doubles, inside zone split.
The Giants offense
ready
to begin the next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime.
Square button.
Touchdown a minute ago.
Back.
The thinking.
Cross button.
I think
Triangle button. Triangle button.
Urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind.
Entering play call, quick slants.
Press it, because pressing, that'll lead you.
HP, quick slants.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Cross button. Cross button. Cross button. R1 button. R1 button. R1 button.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HD slip screen is selected.
Film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Triangle button. Triangle button. R1 button.
After the sack, they'll
Triangle button. Triangle button. Triangle button.
Try and get some space.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is selected.
Down. Well done.
Here's Riley Dixon now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Just a 30-yard punt.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
As they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And they will only muster a yard here.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Gotta find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
The football.
He certainly has, and it's
On
not
plan, there are 7. Defend medium. Cover 1. Cover 2 drop.
think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. Steps away to his left. This is caught. It's Woods. And he is going to
Entering play call, defend medium pass. On plan, there are 7. Defend me. Cover 1. Cover 2 drop. Cover 2 drop.
Instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And this is caught. He's got it.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Inside, flanker spot.
From their special teams.
Tower red.
That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Square button. Cross button. Circle button.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit.
Contact.
Because
R1 button. R1 button. R1 button.
Yeah, so you start
Triangle button. Triangle button.
Questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler.
Entering play up and key.
In order to try and
Raven red off. Then checks gate. Red option. Quick slants.
Yards.
Cross button. Circle button.
Good start to the drive.
Triangle button.
On the gun.
Triangle button. Cross button.
And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit.
Entering KHD slip inside zone. Raven dive.
Today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat and
Cross button. Circle button.
and they force another incompletion.
Circle button. Cross button.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Steps away. Now he'll square up and throw deep.
Triangle button.
And that will be incomplete.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HB draw is selected.
Maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense
Cross button.
to be ready for
Triangle button.
Try and get it back
Square button.
a little.
Square button.
Big chunks.
R1 button. Triangle button.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is
I
selected.
know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the one.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive.
They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Play action. Stafford. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Red option is selected.
Here, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about
Cross
that.
button.
This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HB by WK is selected.
2nd and 2.
Cross button.
Throwing, Joe.
R1 button. Cross button.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. It has been
Entering play
after
for
defense
verticals.
get rid of the football, CD. That's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you
R1 button.
Can guys
Square button.
better?
Cross button.
End result
Circle button.
on the scoreboard.
Cross button.
Pocket.
Square button. Square button.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We're into the second.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 12 options. Punt is selected.
The ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Spread.
Here's Stafford. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, L.A.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
There, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 wing HB dive.
1st and 10.
R1 button. Circle button.
3 tight ends are out there. Here's a give to Barkley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things.
Entering play call. Curls.
Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
3rd quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a second.
Circle button. Square button.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. A flood red option is selected.
Towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they won't be able to run another.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HD slip screen is selected. Square button. Cross button. Cross button. Triangle button. Triangle button. R1 button. Triangle button. Square button.
Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 47. And he will bring it back. It's an
entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
More. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Entering play call. Y shallow. Slot out. Fade smash. Vert double under.
The Giants offense.
Triangle button.
Ready to begin their next
Triangle button.
You can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Entering play call. Coach suggestion. Corner strike.
As they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's
cross button. Cross button.
You're thinking to yourself, why do they
triangle button?
Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Slot outs is selected.
3rd down.
R1 button. Square button. Cross button. R1 button.
Jones.
Square button.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he will have a
entering play call. Coach suggests flood.
Conversion.
Now, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably is
R1 button.
As he thinks about
square button.
A new contract.
Square button. Square button.
Jones now.
R1 button.
On 1st down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. Stick is selected.
Even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Square button. Triangle button. Cross button. R1 button. Triangle button.
Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it.
Entering play call. Coach suggests corner strike. Ravens white. Ravens strike. Double slants. Flood.
The entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So back-to-back incomplete.
R1 button.
As I'm staring
square button.
3rd and 10.
Triangle button. Square button. Triangle button. R1 button. R1 button.
He'll take a shot for the end zone.
Triangle button.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he's
entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
It's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 26-yard line.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
They'll go again here with Akers. And this Giants defense getting off the ball.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Now 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
4 down, 4 down. Watch 9, watch 9.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this will not get close to the first down marker. As
entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Jackson to return. That one in the books as a 64-yard.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 actions. Fades cash is selected.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin.
Triangle button.
Even though they were able to force the
cross button.
Still
Triangle button.
Time out of, especially at this
triangle
late.
Button.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Football, he's going to have a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
You got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And he's going to take this one down to about the 20.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Good run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Lady!
52's the mic.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies... Give me radar!
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Check 20.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he will have a first down at about the...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
They've added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Set! 250! Let's go!
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're